I'm currently on pace to be making $30,000 cash collected with my online coaching business, and I'm just 17 years old. And I can tell you with full certainty that it is fucking awesome. Not only eating fucking steak, but it's also really, really awesome just having a business at this level, because I tell you, and this is going to be a very valuable lesson for you, it is completely different running a business when you have, you don't even have a business, you're making like so little money or no money at all. And there's not really anything systemized and shit's kind of like wonky and it feels fucking, not rigged, but like, what's the word, a little janky and unclear compared to running a business at the level I'm now at, where everything is much like cleaner and systemized and it all makes sense and you got data. These two completely different games, and in this video, I want to show you the reality of what it's like running a business and scaling a business at my level. And I also want to show you and compare it to what it's like running a business when you're at those low levels, making like less than 2K, 5K per month, because it's completely different. And I think a lot of the business content online sort of centers it around like the mindset is very centered around what you need to be doing at these higher levels, tracking data and figuring out the best sales scripts and, making a solid offer and all the, these decisions, these high level decisions. Whereas what I found for myself and also for my clients is the much higher leverage thing to focus on, and oftentimes the much sort of bigger constraint is something entirely different, which is it's basically the only problem you've got when you're not making money. And I'm going to tell you what that problem really is. And if I can set the camera up, I'm going to tell you what that problem is and how you can solve it to like not quickly. I'm not going to tell you can do it fast, but at least scale faster to making your first 2, 5, 10K per month to the point where you can get to where your business is clean. Because for where I'm at, let me tell you about where I'm at right now, like how it is running my business right now. Because right now, I can do this with one hand. Right now, essentially, everything's systemized. So the way we book calls, because you think about it, like a system, selling a high ticket coaching offer, it's like, you need to get people on sales calls to be able to sell them, and you need to book the sales calls and you need to deliver. So it's kind of like attraction, which is booking the sales calls, getting people to know you, and there's conversion, which is the sales itself, and then there's delivery. And you can sort of simplify your business down into those three things. So you look at attraction. We do like outreach. I've got like school and Instagram outreach systemized. And for that, I still do some of it myself just for testing, but I've also got a setter who does it for me, okay? Then those calls are booked, and those calls go to my closer, Evan, and he takes those sales calls. And he does more than closing for me, but he also basically takes my sales calls as well. And he takes the sales calls, and then that's sort of systemizing on the delivery side of things. It's like, we've already got our program, and I just do, calls and delivery in there. So very much, I'm not super involved in the business. I'm also like the CEO architect of the systems now, which is really awesome, because it's like, if we send 100 DMs per day, for example, it's like we know that we are on average going to be booking like 6 to 8 calls per day. And yes, I know it's a ridiculously high booking rate. We have our ways of getting such a high booking rate of like 6 to 8%, even 12% on school, honestly, we've got, which is a whole nother thing. But essentially that's systemized. It's like, I've built the system for the outreach. We know what messages we send. It's all systemized. We track the data on it with like trackers and Google Sheets. Then we book the calls, and we book the calls in a way, and then, we've got I've been building this today actually, an automated system, so when a call's booked, it's automatically logged into the Google Sheets tracker. And I can actually show you this. Hang on, let me just turn this off so I don't fucking burn my eggs. I've actually got a system, just give me a second, I've got to fucking make sure the eggs don't burn. I've got like a system to work out like every single fucking data point with the data tracking and everything for the calls and like the conversion, and like, Evan takes the calls and we've got the call scripts, and so everything's like systemized, we know exactly what we're doing at every point. And let me just show you this then. I can reveal to you my stats, I believe, without leaking anything huge. Yeah, I can, there's no personal info on this, I don't believe. No, there isn't. So I'm not going to show you all the back end of it, but basically, it's going to be flipped. But basically, you can see I built this dashboard for myself on Google Sheets, and we've got like loads of data here. I'm not going to go deeper into it, but basically, like, we've got every single data point mapped. Like, if you really want to have a look, you can see here, this here is a map of where we get our calls booked from basically. This here is a map of, this is just cool shit, a map of where you get cash collected from the most. So it's literally basically like 90% the US and UK, which makes sense because they're English-speaking rich countries. But I've got data on everything like that, bro, okay? And it's like you instantly know your constraints because you can just look at the data. So for example, one constraint we've had recently, which I'm actively solving, is with the outreach. The way the outreach is sequenced, basically, you know, the messages we send and shit, shit. Get some fucking flames going. Yeah, there you go. Essentially, the way the outreach is sequenced, it's fucking windy, is that it made people believe that we work pay on results and like we don't charge anything upfront. I mean, we do work pay on results, but we do still charge upfront. But people were joining the call thinking it's like a free thing that we're offering them, and like they're coming on the call to get like free coaching. And they also like believe that the call was going to be with me, if that makes sense, even though like it's because like, basically they get something like a via sale from me, but then they think the call's from me because I didn't make it clear enough that the call's actually with my team. And so it's shit like that that's like, you know, and that you book calls, but then it leads into the sales systems and shit, and it's like you see that in the data, it reflects in the data. And it's like we've got enough data to know that the data is actually accurate. And so it's like I solve this system, hand that off to my setter while we're booking shit automatically. I've got all the data automated. It's like I've got all the fucking automation. So when it books in, it goes into the sheets. It's like, you know, everything's a system, a delivery. We've got it systemized. We've got training. We go on the calls every week, every evening. I do my like responding to the posts and DMs and shit, you know. It's all a system, and so constantly I can see what my constraint is and I can go and solve it. The constraint is consistently just a logical constraint of like, let's look at the numbers. Where is the bottleneck? Let's fix the bottleneck. Okay, awesome, fixed it. Where's the new bottleneck? Go and fix that. And it's fun. It's like a fucking video game, bro. It really is just like a fucking video game. And it's just like so fun. And the thing is that running a business like this, it is completely different to running a business at the low levels, because when you're running a business at the low levels, like you don't have any of that data. You don't know your close rate. You haven't had enough sales calls. You know, you're booking sales calls, and then you get someone pay you like, you know, let's say your offer's $1,000, and you get on a call with someone, you end up closing them for like $340, and you know your niche might be like, you know, 18-year-old young men or people around that. And it's going to be some, you know, 18-year-old men in the West, and it's going to be some like 45-year-old guy from Pakistan who paid you like a third of the price. And it's like, you know, it's such like a rough, this probably happens to you when it's like your first sale or shit like that, or your first call or your first few things. It's like they feel really inconsistent, like it's really messy, like, if that makes sense. Like it's not like smooth and pure and clean, if that makes sense. It's like, it's almost like a rough and messy sale. And you get shit like that happening, and that's just because it's like there's not enough data to actually like start getting consistent themes and shit. And so then it's like, you know, you don't really have that data to be able to act on, and you just need more. But then to get more, like you don't have it. So it's like at my level, it's like I've got the data, which then allows me to get more data and get, you know, put more people through the system, which then lets me get more data, and it's like a feedback loop. But you haven't started that feedback loop yet, and so you're kind of stuck there. And so essentially, you're kind of fucked, and it's kind of hard. And you know how everyone says, oh, your first sale is always the hardest? Like, I'm not fucking kidding, bro. That is like the most true thing ever. Like, your first sale is by far the hardest. I see this so much with my clients. As soon as they get their first sale, it's like everything just changes, and it's like their mindset changes, and they're like, shit, I can actually make money online like this. It isn't a scam, it's all real. And then, you know, with that, they lock in harder, they're more confident on the calls, and they start doing more, and maybe they get, you know, more data in. And it just becomes so much easier because, honestly, like, when you're at the starting stages, it's not that the business itself is at the hardest stage. It's not like that the business itself is like the hardest, it's at the hardest stage you'll ever be because you've got no data, bro. Like, it's a fucking video game when you've got a Google sheet like I've got there, and you can just look at it and see your constraint. It's like, it's a fucking video game, bro. It's so fun. Whereas you don't have that. It's like, it's not, and everything's messy, and it's like imagine you're playing Minecraft for the first time, and you know that you don't even know what the fucking goal is, bro. You say, okay, you know, maybe you know you want to be the Ender Dragon. What the fuck do? You know, you've got no clue. Okay, you start punching shit. Okay, I can fucking punch a tree. fucking punch a tree. And it's like, okay, you got some wood and then you sort of mess around with shit. It's like, imagine that. That's kind of how it is playing a game. But once you understand it, once you get the hang of it, once you got the fucking iron armor, and you're no longer fucking starving to death, you're solid, you've got your footing. And it's just like the hard start is often like the hardest part by far. And so, essentially, and sorry, it's not just the hardest part is it's not just that you're running the business at the hardest time of running a business and like the hardest like part, the hardest stage. It's also that you are the worst you will ever be. You're always going to get better. You're the most retarded version of yourself you will ever be. And so with that, it's like you're running the business at the hardest stage, being the worst version of yourself you'll ever be. And it's like, it's just kind of fucked. And this is a little lesson I want to give you. Like, you don't have business problems. You just have you problems. Like, the reason you haven't made a good business yet isn't because of the market or the offer or shit like that. Because if there was a really easy way to make, if there was a really easy niche or a really easy offer, then people would use that more and then it would become less easy because there'd be competition. Same thing if there was a really hard offer or a really hard niche, people would go in that niche less, you'd have less competitors, it'd be an easy offer. It's called market equilibrium. Like, there's never any easy way of going about it, because if there is, then people take it up pretty fucking fast. And so there is every now and then, but like you really shouldn't go about looking at it. And so basically every niche is just as hard as the other. There's no excuses with that. It's literally just you and you taking action, and you probably know this in your knowledge and beliefs. And this is the whole other thing of becoming he who can. It's like, it's not about there and going and physically getting the business, because I guarantee you, if I gave you my business right now, on pace for 30k a month this month, we've already done like $8,000 in the past week, bro. If I was to give you my business, then it's like you'd probably kind of fuck it up a good bit, wouldn't you? And that's just because you're not the person who can run a $30,000 a month business. Like what's that in yearly, like 360k a year business? Like, you're not at the level to be able to run something like that because you've not built it yourself. And so it's about becoming the person who can deserve it, because you will get what you deserve in life. Again, the market will always equalize itself out, and the market will always reward the people who do what they're supposed to. And so with that, it's like you probably know this, but the reason you can't succeed and the reason you don't have like an easy business like I do, where you've already got the momentum, because it's so much easier at my level, the reason you don't have that is just because you're kind of retarded and you haven't done the things that, it's not like you haven't done the things that are needed to be done to make the business work, because I'm sure you've done plenty of those actions. It's just that you haven't done them enough, and you haven't done them well enough because you're kind of retarded right now. So if your goal is to become unretarded, how do you become unretarded? Well, the only way you become unretarded is by basically doing the actions that I'm doing at my level. This is the kind of fucked up thing about it. Like, there's no easier way about it. Like, all you can do is just fucking push through the pain and like continue trying to run your business and continue trying to be better and continue trying to be less retarded. Because here's the other thing as well, and this is coming back into the whole thing of like the market will equalize itself out and shit. Everything that's easy to do, like all the progress which is easy to make, you've already done it. And so the only progress that's you can actually make is hard progress. So for example, a piece of easy progress would be uploading a profile photo. You've already uploaded your profile photo, that took you 10 seconds. It's like easy progress, Ugh. Fuck. And so because that's easy progress, like you've already used it up. But the thing is, you can't go and upload a profile photo for 10 hours every single day. Like, you can use the progress once, maybe twice, of uploading a profile photo or changing it, and it helps you a bit, but like, you can't do it a ton. And this is the whole thing of easy progress. It's like, you've already used up all the easy progress, and same as everyone else has already used up all the easy business ideas and all the easy business models and all the easy offers. And so, oh shit, I need my plate. And so essentially it's like, there is no way about it. If you want to get more than people, you just need to go through more pain and more hardship than them to become better than them. And then you'll get what you deserve in time. And it always takes time as well. That's the other thing. This shit always takes time. And I know I'm giving you loads of disparate lessons here, but this video is really just a little fucking vomit of my ideas and my lessons and where I currently am right now. And so, yeah, essentially what I'm getting at here is there's no, if you want to take away shit from this video, there's no easy way to success. There's no easy way to success. You've just got to outwork everybody else. Yeah, that's basically the lesson. And also, shit will get easier. Well, I don't think it'll get easier because shit's always going to be hard. But I think business just gets a lot more fun, I think, when you're succeeding with it. I think that's coming back to another idea that you don't intrinsically like things, you just like the things you're good at. And this comes back to whole, like, you know, feedback loops growing up where the teacher says you're good at football, so you like football, so you get better at football, so the teacher says you're good at football. That sort of shit. I think it's the same with business. Like, if you get good at business, then you like business, then you get better at business and you like business more. I think that's the thing. But then it can also happen in a negative way where you're bad at business, and so you get worse at business, and so then you don't like business, and so you get worse at business. And it's like, you kind of need to start the feedback loop. And the only way you can do that is just sort of by, you know, forcibly forcing it in a way, and just like forcing yourself to get good at business right now without necessarily liking it. So, yeah, what I'm saying is, bro, I've just kind of like boiled down a load of the lessons and shit, I guess, that I'm sort of going through right now. And the sort of summary of it is like, you just have to go through pain and you just have to keep on pushing. And there's no easy way about it, because what you're going through right now, I went through myself. You know, what the pain and the struggle that you are currently going through, it's like, you know, a solid, I mean, maybe not a year ago, but a solid like 2 years ago. Yeah, a solid 2 years ago, I was going through that shit. I remember 2 years ago, or probably about 26, 27 months ago, I hit 2K per month when I was just 14 years old. No, shit, was that 3 years ago? Shit. 1 year ago, or 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah, shit, 2 years, no, 3 years, fuck. I'm confusing myself. Summer 1, summer 2. Yeah, 2 years ago, 2 years ago. 2 years ago, or a bit more than 2 years ago, I hit 2K per month when I was 14 years old with self-improvement coaching. And then I got complacent and I fell in a big rut in that summer, about 2 years ago, I fell in this big rut. And I fucking hated my life. I was addicted to video games and I'd lost everything, and I had to go through that hardship to then become he who can. Oh, rabbit. And so it's like, I've gone through my trials and tribulations, bro. You know, I've pushed through my shit and I've gone hard with it. And like, if you look at me and you're like, oh, what's Sam doing? You don't want to look at what I'm doing. You want to look at what I did and what I went through. Like, I've already traveled Europe and do a ton of meetups and, you know, worked thousands of hours on my business and been on, you know, 300, 500 sales calls to understand my niche better. You know, so I've already made a fucking documentary with the BBC. I've already done plenty of shit, and got plenty of experience to be able to do what I'm doing now. It's not like I've just figured out this magical school outreach thing. No, to be able to figure out the school outreach and get the sales system working and to get all that, to be able to have the ability and become the person that I am now that can do that, I've had to go through so much, and you're going through that same shit right now, bro. I'm pushing through the hardship. But honestly, like, if you do want an easy solution, it's not necessarily an easy solution. It's more so a solution which lets you go through, like, because you're probably thinking, like, I don't want to spend all this time going through pain, like prolonged pain. If you want a solution where it lets you go through a lot more of the pain a lot faster, but then get, you know, see, it's like, imagine there's a certain amount of pain you have to go through to be able to achieve your goals or become the person who can achieve your goals. There is a way which basically you can use to get all that pain that you're gonna, you know, do for ages, and then sort of compress it down into, like, you know, basically like now in a way, or like very, very soon over the next couple of weeks or next month or so. And this solution is really overpowered. You can't use it all the time, but you can use it every now and then, and when you can use it, it's just a fucking superpower. And essentially what this solution is, and it's not like a nice easy one, it's just getting mentorship and investing into yourself. I've done this 3 times for myself in my journey, and it has changed my life every single time. And I cannot recommend getting mentorship enough, because if you look at getting mentorship with someone, either you get scammed and it doesn't work and you learn your lesson, or it works and you fucking succeed, okay? If it doesn't work, well, you lose your money, you got a fire in your ass, you work harder, you're more likely to succeed. if the mentorship works, well, you know, you've already got the success. So it's like there's kind of a win-win with both of it. Obviously, it works better if you don't get scammed, because if you get scammed, you kind of have to go and find another mentor anyway. But yeah, but there is also a lot of scammers about nowadays. But regardless of that, man, if you like my lessons and because that's basically the value for this video. However, if you do want to get mentorship and you do want to invest into yourself, and you are a self-improvement creator / coach, and you want to make your first 2-3K per month online, fuck off. The rabbit's being loud. Then I can get you there, and we get our clients fucking crazy results, bro. And obviously I'm already doing this shit myself, and so if you like the lessons I want, you want to be like a purposeful coach or creator and not just a guy who's fucking making money and slaving away, then we can get you there. There is a link in the description where there's a little video there which basically explains our methodology for how we get guys like you results. And it sort of basically explains how we will help you. And then there's also another little thing on there which lets you basically book in a call with my team. It may actually even be with me, so because I am taking sales calls at the moment for experience and shit, so it may actually be with me if I'm not full for my spots. And yeah, we'll basically just sort of discuss that, how we could potentially help you. It is not a sales call, by the way. We literally do just like ask you, it's like 90% of the call is just asking you questions, basically. But yeah, there's a link down there. No pressure if you don't want to click that shit, but if you are interested in potentially getting mentorship, then that's there. Also, if you don't want to get that, but you do want to get like a proxy of mentorship, like a sort of free version of mentorship, you can join our free community, the $1,000 protocol. That lets you get my entire course for completely free, bro. What is up with the fucking rabbit? Olive. And it also basically lets you get a bit of access to me and shit, and also the community in there, and that's pretty good for helping you lock in. So there's that as well. It's also another link. No pressure if you don't want to click any of that shit. Bro, what is up with this fucking rabbit, man? What are you doing? And so, yeah, no pressure if you don't want to click that. However, I would also appreciate if you could subscribe so you see more videos like me. The reason this video is such an impromptu one and not planned and shit is because I am in the fucking trenches with the work right now, building these systems, and I don't have time to do YouTube, so, because YouTube's a very long-term game. So, yeah, that's essentially that. Hopefully some more solid videos coming in the future, but yeah, hope you have an amazing day, bro. Bye-bye.